We're talking about that ubiquitous skin condition that affects the vast majority of us at one time or another, acne. The reason acne is so troubling, as trivial as it might seem, it may seem like it's not much, just pimples on the skin or blemishes or whatever. It may seem trivial, but there's a hidden significance to skin issues in general, acne specifically. There's a reason why we all want to have beautiful skin. Our skin is always signaling to you. Our skin is always signaling to other people. It's always talking to other people. When we meet other people, or even when we just look at each other, our brain is interpreting the signals that are coming from one person to another. It's interpreting these signals to assess one thing, and one thing only, the most important consideration when it comes to other people that live in our world along with us. Jean-Paul Sartre, the existentialist philosopher, French existentialist philosopher, famously said, "Hell is other people." And he was a pessimist, of course, very pessimistic, and his assessment was pessimistic, but in a sense he was right on. That's because one of the main threats to the individual, if not the main threat to the individual's survival, is other people. Some of these signals, like the sound of someone's voice or the words that someone's using, these are obvious. These are obvious ways that we interpret the intentions or the survival threat of other people. But there's other signals that go under the radar, and we're registering them, but we're just not aware that we're registering them. They're subliminal or subconscious. For example, how a person holds his body, his posture. This is a signal that we're all reading, subliminally or subconsciously. Same with the way he walks or she walks, their gait. This is all registered by our subconscious. A person's grooming, a person's smell, for better or worse. All of these factors are considerations of danger or of safety. This is what we're all looking for when we look at somebody else, danger or safety. Women know this especially because for eons, the threat to women from men has been significant. So women are always doing this to guys. To men, they're getting the subliminal reading, the subconscious reading as to the safety or the danger of this person. Is this person safe or is this person a threat? It's not just women that do it, we all do it. One of the most important considerations that we're making, albeit subconsciously, is whether a person is healthy or sick. Back in the day, prehistorically, pre-medicine, pre-doctor, infectious disease and illness in an individual represented a major threat to the survival of everyone who contacted that individual. So we became very attuned to the health status of our neighbors, of our colleagues. Someone was sick, they represented a danger and someone to avoid. And one of the quickest ways to assess the health status of an individual is the skin. So we all became very good at reading skin. These days, modern human beings are so good at reading skin, reading each other's skin, and looking for clues to someone's health by how the skin appears, we're not even aware that we're doing it. The point is that the health of our skin communicates a message to others, a message that we are safe and non-threatening, or that we are a threat, or that we're a danger. So we're all looking at each other's skin. We're all looking at the health of each other's skin. What we're not looking for is wrinkles. What we're not looking for is fine lines. We've been told that this is what's important because this is all the medical model can really do. Remember, the medical model is useless at the level of a cell. And this is where all health begins. This is what health is. Health is the cell. The medical model is helpless at the level of a cell. All it can do is poison a cell. It can't do anything to help a cell. Nothing. This is the dirty little secret of medicine that even your doctor doesn't know. Medicine is helpless at the level of a cell, and skin medicine, likewise, is helpless at the level of a cell. We're not looking at fine lines and wrinkles, but we're told to look at that the fine lines and wrinkles are what are important, because that's all medicine can do. It can only work on the tissue. It can't work on the cells where the tissue comes from. A person's age is not indicative of a health threat. Wrinkles and fine lines are basically age-related, and they're not indicative of a health threat. Yet most of us believe that no wrinkles and fine lines is what beautiful skin is about. We've been led to believe this. We've been encouraged to believe this, that healthy skin is wrinkle-free. And from a biological perspective, from an evolutionary perspective, that is not true. It's a lie. It's dishonest. It's out of integrity. Now, I'm not saying anybody's doing it intentionally, but they're doing it out of ignorance. The medical model is doing this out of ignorance, telling us we got to tighten the fine lines and wrinkles. The health of the skin, which is really what we're looking for, is independent of fine lines and wrinkles, the fine lines and wrinkles that we are trained and encouraged to be terrified of. We've been so convinced that wrinkles and fine lines need to be abolished, they need to be eliminated, for our skin to be beautiful and attractive, that we're willing to do all kinds of ridiculous things to the organ called the skin. We're willing to cut it and drug it and poison it and paralyze it and inject it with fillers. Yet if you look at Botox skin and facelifted skin that's unhealthy, you know, it just doesn't look right. It looks weird. On the other hand, if the skin is healthy and somebody has Botox, it doesn't look as ridiculous because the health status of the skin matches the wrinkle-free appearance. All this is to say that beauty and attractiveness follow health. Beauty and attractiveness are about health. They're not independent of it. And a true topical skincare regimen will be a healthcare regimen for the skin. It will address the health of skin cells, the wellness of skin cells with nutrients, because that's what skin cells use, nutrition. They don't use Botox. They don't use emulsifiers. They don't use herbs. They don't use Nerium. They don't use wax. They use nutrients. A topical skincare regimen, if it's going to be effective, needs to be a topical nutritional skincare regimen, essentially the skin's version of the Mighty 90 nutrients, which from a topical perspective, as we said yesterday, are the Mighty 2 nutrients. There are 2 nutrients that are stupendously effective and stand head and shoulders above any other ingredient and nutrient from a topical perspective for the skin. Healthy skin is attractive skin. And if it's unhealthy skin, whether the muscles are paralyzed or whether it's injected with some kind of jelly substance or whether it's surgically lifted, is not going to be attractive. And this is the significance of broken out, rashy, pimply skin, acne-prone skin. And this is why, even though it seems trivial, why it's so important to understand and to address. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be right back.
Hi, Coast to Coast listeners. I'm Kay Zwirling from KSCO Radio in Santa Cruz. I'm 93 years old, and I'm a big fan of George Norrie because his topics and guests are fascinating and really get you thinking. George is just
Trevor?
as bothered as I am by all the advertising you hear for toxic prescription drugs that make you sicker, not healthy. I prefer to give my body all 90 essential nutrients it needs for life to prevent disease, not compound it. My favorite complete supplement is Beyond Tangy Tangerine from Longevity, which I take every day along with EFA Plus and Beyond OsteoFX, which together are called the Healthy Start Pack. I recommend you go online to criticalhealthnews.com to purchase these products. That's criticalhealthnews.com or call 855-949-RADIO.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realists, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Okay, we're talking skin health. We'll be talking skin health for a couple of weeks now in honor of my skin health topical treatments that will be coming out here any day. Website should be up, I'm thinking Sunday or Monday, this coming Sunday or Monday. Time Magazine ran an article last week, I think it was in last week's Time Magazine, skin conditions that can signal other health problems. This is so important to understand, because if you got a skin problem, folks, you got other problems too. And while Time Magazine may isolate 4 skin conditions, eczema, dermatitis, vitiligo, this is from the Time Magazine article here. I'm reading as I speak to you. Fact is, all skin health issues start off internally, with the exception of the occasional topical rash that you may get from latex or nickel or some other allergen. For the most part, 99% of the time, if you got a skin problem, you got an internal problem, and this is why it's so important to be able to address skin issues. The skin is indicative of what's happening inside the body, and we're all trained through evolutionary history, not individually. We've all been evolutionary selected for to be keen or attuned to other people's skin. And thus the significance of broken out or pimply skin, which may not seem like it's a serious issue, especially when it occurs in the psychologically sensitive teenage years, the adolescent years. We're hardwired to reject or avoid people who have unhealthy skin, because from an evolutionary perspective, that represented a survival threat. And obviously, if you're a teenager, that's the last thing you want to have other people do, is reject you. Or for if not just a teenager, for anybody. But the good news is, the bright side is, because the skin is so dynamic, so resilient, because it has so much healing properties, it's the fastest healing skin in the body, with the exception perhaps of the digestive tract, which is very similar to the skin. It's the skin inside out or outside in. Because the skin is so resilient, whether it's broken out with pimples or eczema or rashes, or it's covered with the plaques of psoriasis, it heals and it recovers fast. This is so important and so reassuring. If you're dealing with a skin problem today, if you're dealing with acne today, it can begin to disappear immediately. But in order to take advantage of this inherently rejuvenating system, we got to use our intuition, and we got to get past the seeming appearance, the static appearance of the skin, the illusory appearance that the skin is merely this inert covering that it appears to be when it's just sitting there. Unless we zoom into the structure, we're never going to be able to address our skin problems with understanding, and we're going to be stuck believing and trusting commercials and department store clerks and dermatologists and salon receptionists and people who really don't understand the skin any more than you do, unfortunately. And that includes your dermatologist. Your dermatologist may understand some of the stuff that's in the skin, but he certainly doesn't know how to treat the skin. That's why the only thing you're going to get at the dermatologist in terms of medicine is a steroid drug and an antibiotic. You may get some surgery. That's about all a dermatologist has in his formulary, in his weaponry, in his armory, if you will. On the other hand, once we get a grip on what's really occurring in the skin, we never again have to be bamboozled or tricked into spending our money on products, into going to the doctor's office, into buying things that are more about celebrities and packaging than they are about effects. And we can have beautiful, healthy, attractive skin. It's our birthright. Skin cells are turning over faster than any other cells in the body. Every 4 to 7 or 8 weeks, we have a new set of skin cells, and that means pretty much all skin problems can be gone in 1 to 2 months. Eczema, boom, gone. Psoriasis, boom, gone. Dry skin, boom, gone. And acne, same thing. Boom, gone. Out of here. To understand it, though, to understand acne, which is what's required for dealing with it, we got to understand what a pimple is, what a zit is. How many of you who are dealing with acne, or how many of anybody, could really explain what exactly a pimple is? And how are we going to address it if we can't explain it? We got to make a key distinction about the skin. Well, we got to make lots of distinctions, but one key distinction about the skin. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to take advantage of this incredible built-in healing property, all of the incredible built-in healing properties that are represented in the skin. And we're going to lose control, we're going to lose power over all skin conditions, especially the distressing skin condition called acne. So what do we got to do what do we have to differentiate? The first thing we got to differentiate is something called the pore. We got to separate out the pore from the skin. If you look at the skin in the mirror, you look at someone else's skin, you're going to see pretty much a uniform sheet or a covering. And this is what most of us subconsciously, not consciously, believe that the skin is. But if you zoom in, if you look at it with microscopic vision, you're going to see little tiny openings, thousands upon thousands of little openings, holes. Every square inch of your skin has nearly 700 of these holes. They're called pores, and even though they're invisible to the naked eye, they play a very important role in skin health. In fact, the pore is the site, it's the beginning of where an acne pimple forms. It's about the pore. If you zoom in, X-ray vision, Superman vision, you'll see this pore, this opening, like a rabbit hole, and the rabbit hole is lined with cells, and that is the birthplace of the acne pimple. The cells that line the rabbit hole, and those cells, like all cells, are susceptible to starvation, suffocation, and toxification. And those cells, like all cells, when they're suffocated or starved or toxic, will begin to grow out of control, and bingo, this is the beginning of a pimple. Can your doctor do anything about this, or can medicine do anything about this? No. It's a cell issue. There's lots we can do, though. Lots and lots we can do, and there's lots we can do topically as well as internally. We talked a little bit about vitamin A on our last program, and that is the key vitamin for dealing with acne. It's the key vitamin for dealing with all skin issues because vitamin A is a normalizing vitamin. It helps cells grow at a normal pace, not too fast and not too slow. And this vitamin A normalizing property can be taken advantage of, can be exploited topically as well as internally. And indeed, both of these strategies need to be employed. And by the way, if you go to the doctor for acne, one of the major drugs you're going to get, probably the only drug you're going to get in addition to an antibiotic, is something called Accutane, which is poison vitamin A. That's what it is. Poison vitamin A. It's a fake, a distorted version of vitamin A to poison the vitamin A system of the body. This is one of the most horrible drugs in the entire pharmacopoeia. It's one of the most horrible, awful, nasty drugs. And any doctor who recommends this instead of using with nutritional strategies should go back and read the Hippocratic Oath, which says do no harm. We'll talk about this on our next Brightside episode. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Time to hit our phones. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Angel in Ohio. Welcome to the Brightside, Angel. What's up?
Yes, I love your show. I wanted to mention I'm 66 years old, and I'm not on any medication, and I've always taken, supplements and all this, and I take a variety of things. But a couple of months ago, I took it into my head to take some B6, and then I looked on the web, and I found, is that a commercial?
That's a commercial, and you probably read some doctor nonsense about B6, and I've heard it.
I was wondering about the long-term effects of that.
Yeah, so I'll talk to you about B6 when we come back, because that's a very important vitamin. Maybe arguably the most important of the B vitamins, and I'm reading the same silliness on the web that you're reading, Angel. So we'll address that when we come back. Very important vitamin B6. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We will be back right after this. Don't go away.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on zero medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z, 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolyourself.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Okay, welcome back to the Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking to Angel in Ohio. Greetings, Angel. Got a question? You got questions about B6 and B6 toxicity, is that correct?
Yes, and the long-term effects of taking it. And also another thing I wanted to bring up is that my mother suffered 50 years ago from a lung disorder, and her doctor told her that you can diagnose everything that's wrong with you by looking at your hands.
That's great. Fingernails, especially. I don't know about. I don't know about specific diagnosis, but you can sure tell about the health of the inside of the body by looking at the skin.
That's what I meant. And he was saying that for example, the fingernails with the content,
That's exactly right. The fingernails are the fastest growing tissue in the body, so anything that's going on inside the body is going to show up on the fingernails pretty quickly, and a good skincare professional, or healthcare professional for that matter, will always look at his patient's fingernails, and I'm not saying that to be judgmental or anything, but fingernails should be pink and they should be strong. Patches in the fingernails, or weird coloring to the fingernails, little spots in the fingernails, all of these are indicative of something going on inside the body, and you can really nip things in the bud by checking out the fingernails, because, as I say, the fingernails are where inside issues are going to show up very quickly. The skin in general, fingernails are an appendage of the skin, as is the hair. Now, as far as your question about, and by the way, smart doctor who knew that, haven't heard many physicians understand the importance of diagnosing the body through the skin. That the whole diagnostic nature of the skin is so important because it's our window inside the body. We don't need to go to a doctor if we speak skin. As far as vitamin B6 goes, this craziness, and I'm reading a lot more about it, so it must be coming out more and more for some reason. I'll bet you there's a prescription drug around the corner. That usually happens when they tell you about a toxicity of a vitamin. Vitamins are essential. That means they're like air. That means you have to have them. They're not toxic. They're essential. Now, with B6, you've got a very, very important B vitamin. It's water soluble, by the way, so you pee out, you urinate out what you don't need. So it's pretty idiotic to think that it could be toxic. Now, if you take a whole bunch all at once, if you go and swallow the whole B6 bottle all at once, and you do it every day, you might run into some neuropathy, and that is what they're saying, that you can have some nerve pain with it. But it's water soluble. You're going to excrete it. You're going to urinate it out if you take it at take a reasonable amount of it. And whenever you take your B vitamins, in nature they exist as a complex. They're called the B complex, and they exist together. And that's why you always want to take your B vitamins together. You don't want to just take one B vitamin. This is a doctor strategy to just take one B vitamin for its medicinal value. This is an ignorant and idiotic medical strategy where they use vitamins as if they were medicines. And so they'll dose you with vitamin B6. B6 is a food vitamin. It's found in protein foods. And that's because it's involved with protein synthesis. It helps the body make proteins. It helps the body break up proteins. B6 is important for carpal tunnel syndrome. One of the neatest uses for B6 is for morning sickness, for mothers. It's a powerful, unbelievably important B vitamin, arguably the most important of the B vitamins, although, as I say, they do exist as a complex, so you can't say one is more important than the other. But that, if you had to pick one, that would probably be it. Don't go crazy and swallow a whole bottle all at once. Don't have massive... Hang on one second, ma'am. Don't have massive injections of it. Take it reasonably, a couple hundred milligrams a few times a day, and you absolutely should be taking it every day because it's water soluble. You get it in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and as long as you're reasonable about it, you don't have to worry about toxicity. Go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I take B6 and 12, but I was wondering, does it work better with B2? I mean, should I get B2?
No, listen to me, Angel. Listen up. Yes. All the B vitamins should be taken together. B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, folic acid. You always want to take them together. If you think you want some extra B6 because you have morning sickness or carpal tunnel syndrome or for whatever reason, also pregnant women and people who have problems, women who have problems with estrogen, there's a major relationship between serotonin and between estrogen and between various hormones and B6. If you're going to take extra B6, take it with the whole complex. Okay, take it with your Beyond Tangy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
God bless you, Angel. Thank you, ma'am. Have a beautiful day. Okay. So always the B vitamins exist as a complex in nature. You want to take them together as a complex. So if you take a little extra of one, and sometimes there's reasons to take a little extra of one. We're going to talk about B5 in acne on our next Bright Side episode. You always want to take it as a complex, and one of the best ways to get your B complex is in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And because the stuff is water soluble, you should be taking it throughout the day, by the way. Okay, let's move on to Coach Cosmo. Man, what's up? How you doing? Twice in 2 days. It's an honor, Coach Cosmo.
Absolutely, my friend Ben. Always a pleasure to be on with you. And,
what's cooking today? Hey, give your business a little plug. Give your business a little plug for everybody listening in New Jersey.
Well, thanks so much. Coach Cosmo here, your partner in creating simple strategies for vibrant health, and I'm really trying to help Ben get this message out that you can take your health back into your own hands. You don't have to run to the medical model. I try to stay away from doctors as much as possible, and listening to this man for the past 4 years has given me so many tools to help myself, my family, and people who choose to work with me. And if you're down to work with me as well, you can give me a call, 908-912-4357. Would love to hear from you. And everything that I do supports Ben. And my website, CoachCosmoCares.com.
And I vouch for Coach Cosmo's skills. I've heard him and listened to Coach Cosmo myself. You're doing great work, Coach Cosmo. How can I help you, my friend?
Well, I wanted to actually give you a chance to share with the listening audience what you talked with me and my mom about in terms of nosebleeds, because I found that really insightful. And because my impression of nosebleeds was very different from what you shared with us. So I would love for you to talk about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Coach Cosmo. Coach Cosmo called me with his mom yesterday. His mom had some nosebleed issues, and as it turns out, she had some eye pressure issues. She was feeling some discomfort in the eye. Well, whenever you have nosebleed issues, the first thing you want to think about is blood pressure. And in combination with a breakdown of the tiny little blood vessels or capillaries that are in the nose, the combination of high blood pressure and a degradation of the blood vessels is what causes bleeding, nosebleeds. And there's very tiny blood vessels in the nose and in the eyes, for that matter, that are susceptible to damage from sugar, from toxicity, and also to long-term damage from increase in pressure. So when you have nosebleeds, you have more than likely a problem with high blood pressure. The fact that Coach Cosmo's mom also had some eye problems, she was saying she felt some weird discomfort in the eye, guaranteed 100% certainty that it was a blood pressure issue, probably in combination with sugar problems. And indeed, it turned out that Coach Cosmo's mom did have high blood pressure. And, you know, if you didn't know how the body works, it would seem like wizardry or like I was a psychic. But if you understand how the body works, it's just a natural thing to understand. So what do you do? Two things. A lot of things you do, but two things first. Number one, you strengthen the blood vessels. You strengthen the connective tissue that lines the blood vessels. The blood vessels are made up of lots of different tissues, or a couple different tissues, but mainly connective tissue. That means vitamin C and protein and correcting digestive problems that affect the absorption of vitamins and protein. Essential fatty acids are also important, and that means the healthy start pack. Sugar, once the blood becomes caramelized, if you will, once the high amounts of sugar are in the blood will become thicker. The pressure will have to rise in order to deliver blood. So keeping the blood clean of sugar is also important. And by the way, Coach Cosmo, I didn't tell you this yesterday, but she's also at risk for kidney issues too, if she doesn't already have them. So that's another thing, because the kidneys are also lined with very tiny blood vessels that are easy to damage. So first and foremost, you want to look at protein and vitamin C and the Mighty 90 essential nutrients in general and essential fatty acids. And that means not just taking them, but also absorbing them. Digestive enzymes can thin the blood a little bit. In addition to helping her absorb nutrients, apple cider vinegar can help. And then secondly, treat your mom like a diabetic, sweeties, etc., magnesium, B-complex, vitamin C. These are all important for sugar metabolism. And if any toxicity is getting into the blood through the digestive system, that needs to be corrected as well. Thanks for calling, Coach Cosmo. Appreciate it. Hope we helped you out. Hang tight. We'll get your phone calls when we come back from this break.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GCN.
Let's go to Colorado and say hi to Jim. Good morning, Jim. What's up, bro?
Mrs. Ben, just had some questions about my sister-in-law.
Okay.
About a year ago, she had a little more than a year ago, she had a heart attack. She's 50 years old, about 145 pounds. And I'm married to her twin, so she's my sister-in-law.
Nice. How tall is she?
She is 5'9". They're a little 5'9" and a half.
Okay.
So, anyway, the heart attack was the result. They figured out it's called SCAD, S-C-A-D, spontaneous coronary artery dissection. So she had a little tear in her artery.
Right.
Caused a balloon, which caused the restriction and heart attack. Luckily, there was no major damage, and they heart test.
You want some help with that?
Yes.
Okay. You know, SCAD, SCHMAD, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Her body's breaking down. That's it.
Right.
Okay, remember, I was talking to Coach Cosmo a couple moments ago about how the blood vessels are made up of connective tissue. Remember, there's four kinds of tissue in the body. Nervous tissue, something called epithelial tissue, which is like candy coating on the surface of organs and glands and on top of the skin. Muscle tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, and then the candy coating tissue. So the bulk of the body is muscle tissue and connective tissue. Likewise, the bulk of your blood vessels are muscle tissue and connective tissue. So when she's breaking down SCAD, whatever they want to call it, basically she's got a connective tissue degradation problem. Her connective tissue is breaking down. Now, it makes sense that the heart would be the first place where it shows up because the heart's always, and the circulatory system are working so hard. So it makes sense that this is where it would show up, but it's happening everywhere. We got to build her connective tissue back up again. We got to make her into Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got to make her into a bodybuilder. You know, I'm being a little facetious here, but that's basically what it is. We want to build. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, and I researched it quite a bit. I've been a longevity consumer for quite a while, so
good deal.
Got her. I mean, she's kind of taken. I've been trying.
Well, let me give you some ideas, because it's not only what you take. As important as supplementation is, it's not only what you take. It's what you're not. It's what you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. In other words, what's getting into the system that's corrupting it. And usually, not usually, almost always, that's food. So first and foremost, we got to get to the bottom of the food issue. If there's any digestive issues, there are digestive issues. There have to be if she had a heart attack. So you got to find them, and then you got to eliminate those foods. As long as toxicity is getting into the blood through the digestive system, it's going to be very difficult to build and to heal. So you got to control the entrance of food into the blood through the intestinal wall. And that means, number one, eliminating problem foods. You got to do a food diary, keep track of all the foods she's eating, and then eliminate problem foods. Job number one. Job number two is to strengthen the digestive system. These happen. You want to do these simultaneously, parallel. So you correct eliminate problem foods by doing the food diary, and then you got to start using digestive nutrition for digestive support. Number one, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, must have. 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. Number two, Z-Radical, or Fucoid Z is a little better. 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. Digestive enzymes on an empty stomach in the middle of the day, maybe 2 or 3 in the middle of the day. That will help thin the blood and reduce inflammation. And then digestive enzymes with all her meals, the ultimate enzymes with all her meals. Swig a little bit of apple cider vinegar with her meals. If she notices that she's having problems with fatty foods, and this is very common as women get older, then she needs to probably throw in a few things for helping her process fatty foods. Lecithin is the king of supplements or nutritional aids, if you will, for fat absorption. You get that at a health food store. Look for organic lecithin, maybe a half teaspoonful in water with your meals. Bile salts, and they'll get some bile salts in the ultimate enzymes, but she may want some extra bile salts. Another cool thing to do for folks who have malabsorption of fats is start off your meals with bitters. Anything that's bitter is going to stimulate bile. Dandelion greens, kohlrabi, kale, chard. These are all bitter kinds of foods. Even garlic and Jerusalem artichoke is a herb that can have some bile stimulating properties, and that will help her absorb her fats. Then we go to the straight nutrition, and there's lots of things you could do for building up connective tissue. Vitamin C is the superstar connective tissue building vitamin, and she needs to be using that throughout the day. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is a great source there. Protein, obviously important. Connective tissue is largely made up of protein, so make sure she's getting enough protein. The Slender FX, egg protein, fish protein. More and more, by the way, we're reading about how important eggs are, including the yolks. And that's even in the mainstream news. So much for the Dr. Shibboleth and nonsense about staying away from egg yolks. Still, doctors are talking about staying away from egg yolks. Anyway, eggs, organ meats, dairy. Make sure it's as clean as possible, organic. Don't go get milk from the supermarket, but butter and cheese. Get the Jordan Rubin products. Those are all great sources of dairy, specialized dairy as well. So you're going to be building the body. That's your strategy. If you want to throw a couple more things in, gelatin capsules, the glucogel caps can help build connective tissue as well. And don't forget your electrical nutrients, the B complex, and your electrolytes, which of course you'll get in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Long story short, my friend, is it's very easy to deal with, and there's not a single drug on planet Earth that can build up her connective tissue. And if any doctor tries to poison her with medication, be very, very, very skeptical and ask lots of questions.
Well, that's what I wanted to have you touch on, if I could, briefly, because they immediately put her
They gave her a blood thinner, probably, first thing, right?
Oh, yeah, they put her on blood thinner, cholesterol medication, and
well, do you remember was that Forrest Gump? Stupid is as stupid does, and that's all I'll say about that.
So we got her off of the blood thinner and the cholesterol she just refused to take because she had, and they agreed that she had 0 signs of cardiovascular disease.
But they wanted to give it to her anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, because it's just, what the heck, might as well. Here's the thing, elevated cholesterol equals elevated blood sugar. Equals, put an equal sign there. If you want to take care of your elevated cholesterol, take care of your sugar, your blood sugar, and your insulin. Ironically, statin drugs mess up your blood sugar. In fact, statin drugs, the FDA now makes the manufacturers of statin drugs put a diabetes warning on their statin drugs. Cholesterol, elevated cholesterol, and elevated blood fats, for that matter, equals elevated insulin and elevated blood sugar. Okay, Jim, thank you so much, my friend. I hope we helped you out. And by the way, deep breathing can slow down or can strengthen the flow of blood and can also improve clotting and stickiness inside the blood. Slow, deep breathing.
Can I ask you one quick question?
Sure.
They have her on 2 high blood pressure medications, and they want to put her on a 3rd because they're having trouble getting her blood
Does she have a blood pressure cuff?
A cuff?
Yeah. Does she take her own blood pressure?
Oh, yeah, she does quite a bit.
Have her do this. This is the last thing I'll tell you, okay? Because this is just so she can see how idiotic the medical model is and how simple it is to take care of your own health. Have her do this. Take up her blood pressure, okay? Then go take a hot bath. and then come out and take her blood pressure and watch what happens. Not only will her blood pressure drop like a stone, but it will drop without toxicity, without waiting in line at the doctor's office, without waiting in line in the pharmacy, without filling out forms, and without costing her any money. Right. Doctors, if they were intelligent, if the medical model was intelligent, it would tell you to take a hot bath, not a deadly poison. And they are deadly poisons. Beta blockers and antihypertensive drugs are among the most deadly toxic of all medication. And that's saying something.
I agree.
A hot bath is non-toxic, works just as well to lower your blood pressure, and you don't have to deal with the medical model to take a hot bath. Thanks for your call, Jim. Appreciate it. That's how easy it is, you guys. Does that sound silly, that a hot bath is medicine, or a hot shower, or sitting on the couch and deep breathing? We're trained to believe it seems silly because it's not medical, but guess what? It works just as well, and there's no toxicity. Read the side effect profile on your favorite beta blocker drug, and then read the side effect profile on your hot bath. Which would you rather do? All right. Sorry to be facetious here. Let's see if we can get one more phone call in. Let's go to Brian in New Hampshire. What is up? Welcome to the bright side, Brian.
Hey, Ben. I've been listening to your show. Obviously, I've called in many times. But I recently went skiing, and I fell down the mountain, double black diamond, lost my skis, lost my glove, lost my hat.
Not good.
Now, it wasn't good at all. The ironic thing is I skied it for a couple hours after that, and this was 3 weeks ago, and I've been on crutches for 2 weeks after because I've screwed up my left knee. And I wanted to ask you, what's the best way? Because it seems that my knee has a muscle sprain or a muscle tear in it. What would be the best way to recover?
Are you walking okay or are you limping?
I'm now finally walking okay, but it keeps flaring up and swelling again just when we're going upstairs.
Well, I can't say whether you have a tear or anything in there. If you have a tear, it could heal itself or it may not. Depends on the extent of the tear. The knee is a very, very tricky joint. Use the glucogel caps. Practice some intermittent fasting to reduce inflammation. Ice will also help reduce inflammation. And then you might want to consider building up the inside muscles, the abductor and adductor muscles, the inside and outside of your thighs. These are the major muscles that control the knee. The inside of the thigh and the outside of the thigh. And they're two muscles that don't get worked out when we just do regular walking or even running. You got to really focus on the abductor and adductor muscles in the inside of the thigh. That's what stabilizes the knee. That's a lot more you could do there, Brian. Vitamin C is also very helpful. Vitamin E is tremendously anti-inflammatory, as is alpha-lipoic acid. Wish we had more time, but that's it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, friends. We'll be back at you Monday with more good health information. We'll continue talking about acne and nutrients that you could use to help clear blemished skin. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a spectacular, wonderful, awesome day. We'll talk to you later, folks. Bye for now.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal service.